With Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass, Microsoft has established some very successful services in the last years, and xCloud, I think is the next one, is already in the starting blocks. Do you think that in the next generation we will talk more about services than hardware?
I think we will probably talk evenly about services and hardware. I think a player's experience on our platform is driven by great games. It's incredibly important. The services that those games use and those players can use, obviously the hardware that gives them the experience that they want to have when they play. And I'd also say the community that the services bring together is a critical part of a person's gaming experience. And I think games will always be at the center of the conversation. That should be what it's all about. But I see, and we've seen it over the years, the growth and how important services are to somebody's gaming experience.
Yeah. With your first-party games for console also coming out on PC and Steam, and your policy focused on offering more possibilities to players, do you think the exclusive games will continue to be decisive when buying a console?
You hit on a core thing for us, which is our strategy is about the player, not about a device that we build. We build a device to give players choice on where they want to play. But as the gamer, they are at the center of the strategy that we build. And we want to put games where people want to play them and where you can get the full Xbox experience. Obviously, on an Xbox console, you get the full Xbox experience. Game Pass is there, Xbox Live's there, our first-party games are there. Over the last few years, as you mentioned, we've done a lot of work to bring that full experience to PC. So when people are playing on PC, they're connected in Xbox Live, they have Game Pass there, so they get a great library of games. Our first-party games are there, and they can play in many times with friends, regardless of what device they're on. And we've built a stronger relationship with Valve and Steam and allowing the similar experience. And for us, it is about that full Xbox experience wherever somebody wants to play. But our console is kind of the soul of what Xbox is about. And we're very excited for our new console launch this year. But it's not about what we want and what we build. It's about what players want to play. And that's how we build our strategy.
Okay. Last year was your biggest year ever on PC in terms of revenues as Xbox Game Studios. The Xbox Series X blurs the line between console and PC gaming, I think. The physical design alone resembles a PC tower. Why did you decide to blur those lines with your new console, and are console gamers even your main target group?
Yeah, gamers are our main target group, and there are hundreds of millions of gamers that love to play on console. So when we started the process of building Xbox Series X, we wanted to build absolutely the most powerful console. That was a top design input to the team. And then we didn't want to sacrifice any power when we thought about what it should look like and the design. So the design is very purpose built to allow us to put all of the power that we have in a form factor, the size that we think can fit well into somebody's entertainment platform. I felt really good in the Xbox One generation about the Xbox One X and how the team did a really good job, the hardware team, in designing a really quiet and low-profile console. We've upped performance so much in this next generation that the console just had to get a little bigger. We didn't want it to get louder. So the design allows us to put all of that power that we have, the most powerful next generation console, keep the noise down to the level that our gamers expect, and to keep a constant performance in the platform through the cooling system that we were able to employ.
What's Microsoft vision and prediction in terms of subscription services like Game Pass, especially in comparison to what happens with the music and movies industry?
We look at Game Pass as a great choice for gamers who want to look to try new games, to build their library for themselves or their family in new ways. And it's been incredibly inspiring to see the success that Game Pass has had, not only with gamers, but with game creators as well. Many game creators are finding new audiences by bringing their games to Game Pass. And able to raise the awareness and the fans of the games that they've built. But we're about choice. And I think Game Pass is allowing developers to try new things and to choose to be a little more creatively ambitious in certain areas. And it allows gamers to try new games that they might not have normally tried if they was only a retail purchase. But having games available for sale is also an important part of our strategy. So we offer gamers choice on how they want to build their library, and we let the gamer decide. They're at the center of our decisions. The gamer can decide how they want to build out their library.
Okay. Tell me if I'm wrong, but the Xbox ecosystem is about choices. Choice of the game I want to play, choice of the friends I want to play with, choice of the device. Does this mean that we will see Microsoft games on other game consoles such as Switch or PlayStation 5 in the future? Can we imagine the Game Pass coming on other game consoles in the future?
So the only change I would make about choice is I would say it's about players making choices, gamers making choices. Because it really is not just an offering choices for choices' sake, but rather offering gamers the ability to choose how they want to experience our platform and our games. The thing about other gaming console platforms is we're not able to bring a full Xbox experience on those platforms. In places where we have, like mobile phones, like we're doing now with xCloud coming to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, for no extra charge, which we think is a great value and allow people to play on the go. What we've done with PC and bringing our full Xbox experience there, because we know when somebody's playing one of our Xbox games, there is an expectation that I've got my Xbox Live community, I have my achievements, Game Pass is an option for me, my first party library is completely there. And the other, competitive platforms aren't really that interested in having a full Xbox experience on their hardware. But for us, we want to be where gamers want to be, and that's the path that we're on.
Sony has chosen to release a cheaper PlayStation 5 without an optical drive to let the player choose the system he prefers. Do you think that selling two consoles models from day one is a wise choice? Could Microsoft do the same with its Xbox Series?
I think offering gamers price choice is a good thing. Especially this year at the launch of a console, which is always kind of the higher point of a console's life cycle price. We know the economic uncertainty around us today with COVID and such high unemployment, and there's many things that people are dealing with, our customers are dealing with in their lives, and giving customers the ability to choose how they want to enter our ecosystem is important. It's one of the reasons we're focusing so much on Xbox All Access, which is the ability for someone to come into the Xbox ecosystem with no upfront cost, just to get into a monthly relationship where they get Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, they get their console, they're already going to have the first party games as part of Game Pass. And in that world, we look at the total cost of ownership of a platform as incredibly important. So I don't think it's just about hardware choice. I really think it's about how do I build my library of games? How do I pay for the hardware, giving me choice in how I want to do that? And that is clearly part of the strategy that we're on. And I believe Xbox All Access will be a very important part of our launch this fall. And we're offering it in many more markets than we have previously. And we really look forward to allowing gamers at the level they want to enter the Xbox ecosystem the choice in how they do that.
So Xbox All Access is coming in France too for this fall, yeah?
That's our goal is for,
Okay.
yes, our goal is for Xbox All Access to be available in many of the markets. We're working through the retailer relationships and how that will work, and we'll have specific announcements on markets like France, but France is an important market for us. So you should know, while no specific announce on date or anything right now, it's an important market for us, and we want to expand it to many markets to make it a real choice for gamers coming in.
Okay. If we put aside the Xbox One X, which was a new version of the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X is the first console you've launched since you became head of gaming at Microsoft. This console necessarily has your signature. Why did you want to do with this new generation of Xbox? What did you tell to the development team when you first started designing it? What's the objective to achieve?
Yeah, there's always, I'm always learning. And, for those that have followed, when I took this job, I joined as formerly the head of first party, and it was about building games. That's how I had grown up. And one of the things that was really important for me in this generation was that we build a great platform for developers, because my background is in game development, that the development environment is strong, the hardware is the most powerful that's out there, that the platform technology allows me as a creator to reach the fidelity I want to reach with the games that I'm going to build. Because I've seen it in the past, in my history on the 360 generation relative to the competition, difficult platforms to develop for that don't give you consistent performance, that are kind of reaching to reach some numbers that aren't always achievable, can create difficulties in the development environment for creators. So what the goal on the platform side, when we were talking with the hardware team, is let's build absolutely the best platform for creators that gives them the highest level of performance, the highest predictability in that performance, and the software tools to allow them to bring the best generation, the best of their games to market. Because it's been shown over, whether it's on PC and other consoles, the most powerful hardware with an easy to use and high performance software platform will lead to absolutely the best versions of the games running on our platform. And that's exactly what I expect we'll see with Xbox Series X.
When the last console generation kicked off, Microsoft heavily advertised the powers of the cloud. We will never forget the spectacular demo for Crackdown 3 multiplayer done in 2015. The final version of Crackdown 3 was far less impressive. Why should we believe in the cloud this time around?
I've always believed that playing the games is the real proof point that we always strive for as an industry. So the nice thing when we look at like Project X Cloud is we've had hundreds of thousands of people already play Project X Cloud, helping us both learn and test and build out our infrastructure. So it's not about us touting the power of a technology with the xCloud. It's really about us bringing great Xbox games, putting them in your hands on a mobile device, and then you can talk about the experience that you have. We've also really worked to set the right expectation. We have not been out there saying that cloud gaming is going to be more powerful or higher fidelity than PC gaming or console gaming. We've talked about cloud as a way to give you choice as a player on where you want to play. Our focus on xCloud is really about your choice as a player, that when you're in front of when you're at home in front of your console, I expect you that will want to play on the console. But when you're away, we want to bring you absolutely the best experience that we can on that device that you already own. Again, building our strategy around your world and your ways that you can play, not about us trying to tout a technology for our own benefit.
Okay, I understand. Let's talk about games. An Xbox console that comes with Halo at the day of its release, it reminds us the very first Xbox OG. And the Xbox OG has a lot of Japanese exclusives, such as Otoji from Software, Ninja Gaiden from Tecmo, Dino Crisis 3 from Capcom, Breakdown from Namco, and great exclusive games from Sega, Panzer Dragoon Horta, Sociedad 3, Crazy Taxi. What can Xbox do to find exclusive Japanese projects? Is it still possible or still desired?
I feel I probably feel as good as I have in my time in this job about our relationship with Japanese creators right now. The team over in Japan, our Xbox team, has been working really hard to build the relationships. We know gamers worldwide want amazing games from some of the best creators on the world, and we know many of those are Japanese creators, and we want to be a great platform for those games to come to the world of Xbox gamers. And I've been proud of the progress that we made over the last 4 or 5 years. At E3, we've always had a good, strong showing on Japanese created games on our stage. We know we're not a Japanese platform company. We know we will have to work to rebuild trust with Japanese creators. And we think that happens over time, and continuing to listen to what they're looking for and what they need in order to reach that global audience. And I'm proud of what we're going to show on the 23rd. I like our roadmap of working directly with Japanese creators to build great Xbox games. You'll hear more about that in the future. And we know that it's a critically important thing to our strategy to make sure that the amazing creators in Japan feel that Xbox is a platform where they can have success.
Great. Matt Booty said in an interview that the Xbox Series X would not necessarily have exclusive games for 1 or 2 years, with the first Xbox Series X games running on Xbox One, such as Halo Infinite. However, at the May event of Xbox 2020, we saw some true Xbox Series X, exclusives like Scorn and The Medium, which are not first-party games. Are Matt Booty's statements still relevant today?
The thing you'll see on the 23rd is we're giving our studios real creative freedom to build the games that they envision. And for many of the studios, as you know, we've added a lot of studios to the Xbox Game Studios organization over the last few years, and providing them the financial stability, the creative freedom to go build the games that they want to go build. And gamers want to build great games game creators want to build great games that can reach a large audience of players. People can experience what they've created. So I think what you hear Matt talking about and what our creators will say is we have a vision for every game that we're building, and the vision starts with the player, not the device. And if a creator comes to us, and you mentioned a couple of the games that were in the May showcase, and says, no, I really want to focus on next generation with their games, we're completely open to that. We're very supportive of that. If a creator comes to us and says, I have this vision for reaching these customers across different platforms and different generations, we're completely supportive of that. It is really about our creators having choice and allowing them to build the games that they want to build to reach the audience that they're looking for, and not things that we're mandating to our creators in terms of what they have to go build. It's not our rules for our platform. It's more about creators creating the games that they want to go build.
Looking ahead, what is going to change in the console market in the next 5 to 10 years, according to you? And what do you think will be the biggest challenge Xbox will face in the near future?
I think for console gaming specifically, the thing that we will hear that will change in 5 years is it's just going to continue to evolve as gaming continues to grow. We're at gaming, there are over 2 billion gamers on the planet today, and our opportunity as an industry to continue to grow our relevance as storytellers, as community builders, as people who are creating inclusive environments and learning environments where people can come together to have community, to be entertained. There's a real responsibility that we all have in the industry. This is not a one platform versus another platform. Continue to realize the social impact that gaming can have. And I've been really proud of how us as an industry across different platform competitions, game publishers have been able to come together to realize that opportunity for all of us in the industry. And when I think about the learning that we need, you see it every day. You see us sometimes learning painfully with news reports of activity on our communities and in our studios that we need to grow and evolve away from, and continue to create inclusive environments for people in our communities and people on our teams. But as an industry, we've been collaborative and open in the conversations that we've been having about our responsibility to our community and our teams. And I think that's a really critical thing for us over the next 5 years, because gaming has just become such an important social platform and connecting platform for the planet. I have so many friends that I've met through gaming, and it's something that I'm proud of how the industry is stepping up. And I think it'll just be more and more important, especially at a time right now where so many people are physically distanced from each other, and gaming is playing such an important role for the planet.
Yeah.
Time for one more.
One more, okay. Last one. So everything that is being talked about the new generation is focused on better graphics, faster loading times. What have you seen in any of the new games you are developing that has made you think, wow, this wouldn't have been possible in the current generation?
The thing that I'm experiencing more now, at just an overall kind of how gaming is impacting my life, is the choice, the kind of the time between when I make a choice that I want to play something and I can experience a game, the responsiveness to that experience. One of the things I've always been jealous of, as somebody who's been in the games industry for an awful long time, is music and movies and video. If I want to listen to a new song, I click on it and I try it, and I can, do I like this band? Do I not? If there's a new show that's on Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever, I can click and I can kind of instantly experience it and figure whether it's something I like. And in gaming, for the longest time, we have this, you have to go back to like the days of the cartridge and running games off of CD, where you could literally put a cartridge in and start a game right away. In this world of downloads and huge games and bandwidth, like you might have to wait hours before you can try that game that's sitting in front of you. And I'll say, with things like xCloud that allow me to really browse a large collection of games, I might start on xCloud and try games. And then once I find something in Game Pass that I really like, I'll go and start the download on console. Bandwidth speeds in the home continue to get better. The responsiveness of the console with quick resume and my ability to pop in and out of different games that I'm playing fairly seamlessly to figure out, okay, what do I really want to play tonight, and where are the communities of my friends, and what are we all going to go do? I'm finding that gaming is becoming less of a wait media and more of an experience media with the new technologies that are coming. And it is actually having a big impact on the different games that I play, how often I play, and the responsiveness that I feel. It'll take us time, but I'm slowly feeling that ability to really browse a large collection of different things that I've been envious of in music and in video. I feel coming to gaming, and this combination of xCloud and PC and console and quick resume and all of these things is turning out to be kind of a magical experience for me, and I really love that.